Hi guys, Chef Wukan here. How are you today? It's Thursday evening for a midnight meal almost. Today it's going to be a very special dish, one of my favorites, or the favorite seafood dish. Basically, it's going to involve lobster with garlic and scallion, ginger and scallion. Okay? And there's many ways of making it, but I'm going to make it very easy for you. No, I'm not going to have the whole lobster. I'm just going to have the lobster tail. And where you can get a good buy at the lobster tail is at Costco. They usually have 6 to 8 in a package. So the lobster will be just a lobster tail. And so basically, preparation is very easy. You take the lobster tail and you cut it into segments. So usually I'm using 2 lobster tails here. So basically I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 pieces, which is pretty good, right? So you set it aside. You don't have to pre-cook it. The cooking process will do it in itself. So with ginger and scallion, we're going to have 2 stalks of scallion. And they've been cut about 2 inches. Okay. Then we have ginger. Now obviously you may have ginger powder, but I prefer real ginger. And so you take off as much as you want for ginger, right? No specifications, because it's all based on your taste. If you love ginger, use a lot more ginger. And basically take a potato peeler and slice it, the outside, then cut it in slivers if you want. I prefer slivers. Some people prefer slices. That's really up to you. Either way, you're going to get that flavor of the ginger. I use 5 cloves of garlic. I love garlic. Garlic makes the world go round. And so basically, I took the garlic. Now, I don't recommend using the jarred garlic. I recommend buying the raw garlic. Maybe not so much in a clove. In a lot of Asian markets, they have it in a container already shelled. So you take like 5 of them and you smash it with the cleaver. Now, the cleaver, if anybody wanted to know, this is the cleaver. 1 piece of high carbon steel. So if you're chopping, you don't have to worry about the handle falling off, which a lot of manufacturers, they use cheap wood and then they put a hole in it and they stick the blade in and that's supposed to keep it together. This is 1 piece of high carbon steel. So you don't have to worry about hurting anybody. And basically, you take it, the flat surface, you put the garlic on the chopping board and you just smash it. Boom. Okay? And that's just smashed garlic. In terms of the garlic presser, I mean, I just feel it's a waste of time. This is easier. So think about it. You know, you can try working on it and see what happens. All you're doing is just basically, boom, it's done. You don't have to peel it. You don't have to stick it in the garlic presser and press it really hard so it goes through the holes and then clean it later on. I think it's a waste of time. All right? Then we have a slurry solution. This will tie everything together. All the flavor of the lobster, all the sauces you put it together, you know, it's going to just add more substance. All right? The sauce. Obviously, we have soy sauce. We want soy sauce as a salting. We want to have a little sweetness, so we put a little hoisin sauce in. You always want that balance. We have oyster sauce, which is used throughout Asia, Southeast Asia. It's the ketchup of the Southeast of Asia. All right. And oyster sauce, yes, it is made out of oyster extract, and it was made by mistake by Mr. Lee Gum-Gay. All right. And he was trying to make different sauces, and he tried different ingredients, which was oyster extract, and he mixed it with some salt and sugar and water, and he felt he had a gold mine. So then he started marketing it, so a lot of businesses bought it, and they loved it. So it's the Far East version of ketchup. It's used in practically every dish. And then to top off the cooked lobster, ginger scallion, we're going to add 2 eggs. Many people say, why add an egg? Well, I feel that by adding an egg may just complete the whole dish. You break it open over the lobster, you let it sit, set, and flip it around a couple of times, stir fry, and you get that nice flavor of the egg with the sauces, and the juices together. All right. So this is my specialty. I love it. I love lobster. I love lobster the American way. Steam it with some drawn butter. I love it too. I love the stuffed. I love the stuffing with a little lump crab meat in it, jumbo lump crab meat. It's perfect. But this is Chinese style. It has a very unique flavor, and I want to introduce it to you. So you don't have to use a lobster. Just get the lobster tail. All right. So that's one big hurdle that you don't have to worry about. All right. So what we're going to do here is we prepared everything. So we're just going to combine it together. All right. So I have my little butane stove. Obviously, it's a little too hot lately, and I'm in the coolness of my kitchen. Now the wok has already been seasoned, and I want you to just watch what I do as the wok is getting hot. The whole process here is a matter of stir frying it constantly. So you want that even heat to go through all the pieces of lobster, right? And when lobster's done, it turns an orange color. Not necessarily the meat, the shell. And then you'll know it's done. All right? And then basically, it's a 5-minute process. 7 minutes, the most. Easy. And your family will love it. And then I'll tell you other things that you can do with the sauce. I'm just giving you the basic ginger scallion, okay? So as we're heating up the wok, this is a high carbon steel wok, right? So you can keep this as high as you want, right? But if you're using a non-stick pan, I would say use medium. And you're not going to get the same flame that you would get in a normal restaurant because the high flame will destroy the medium pan non-stick surface. High carbon steel, the beauty of this is that after each use, it creates another, how would you say, coating, a non-stick coating, which is what we want, all right? And it's natural, so there's no chemicals involved too. So that's why in China, they only have a wok. They don't have all these pots and pans left and right. They have a wok, and that's used for everything, all right? So it's getting heated up, so we'll proceed to add some oil. I add about a little bit more than a quarter cup. And basically we'll just stir it around. Now we'll add the ginger and garlic. And this will infuse all the flavors. You don't want the garlic to burn. So we'll lower it a little bit. So the ginger and the garlic will infuse with the oil to give you a nice taste. Okay? Now, we'll throw in the lobster. Constantly stir and frying it. So let the lobster get some of that oil inside of it. Okay? Now, we'll add some of the sauce. So we'll add some Shaoxing wine. Or you can use white wine. We'll add a little hoisin sauce, the sweetness, a dash, a little bit of soy sauce, and some oyster sauce. So I basically added a quarter cup of each and stir. Now, the flavors are going to be very potent, so we want to have a nice sauce to it. This is Cantonese style. Cantonese style food has a lot of sauce in it. Northern style method doesn't have much sauce at all. So we'll add about a half cup of water. Alright. Now this is a butane stove, so please be understanding that I'm not going to get that high heat that we want. So this may take a little longer. But you basically get the idea. Keep on stir frying. We'll taste a little bit of the sauce. Delicious. I like a little bit more gravy because I'm going to have rice with it. So you can taste the ginger, you can taste the garlic, you can taste the Shaoxing wine, the hoisin, the oyster sauce, the soy sauce. That's what you really want. Now we're just concerned with just making sure that the lobster tail is cooked. Remember, the lobster tail, the bigger the piece, the longer it will take to cook. Alright? And you have to consider that I'm using a butane stove. So you guys will probably be using your own electric stove or gas stove. So it might be a little bit different. Alright? But the technique is always the same. Don't worry about the sauce because you're going to add the slurry sauce, which is even portions of cornstarch to water. And that will thicken it and bring it together. Okay, now, what we're going to do here is now add the scallion. But we want to make sure the sauce is delicious. Remember, I never say to follow the recipe. Follow the recipe for basic. That's the basic way of making it. Then you can create your own way. You want to add some hot sauce? You could do that. You may want to add a little bit more soy sauce. You could do that. Maybe a little bit more wine. That's all up to you. So I want you to be able to create your meal. All right? I don't want you to be stuck with just follow this quarter teaspoon of this, quarter teaspoon of that. It's basically supposed to be enjoyment, and you're creating a delicious dish. Okay. So the lobster's ready, and I'm going to throw the scallion. Right. Now we'll thicken it up. All right. So even though we mixed the cornstarch with the water, we still have to use our finger to slur it up again. And basically we'll add a little bit. Right. And it's thickening it up. It's a good thing. Now, depending on what you like a little bit more sauce, you don't like a little bit more sauce, add a little bit more cornstarch solution. That's really up to you. But in this family, we like a little bit more gravy. Okay? So we want to thicken it up a little bit, which we have. All right, now, here we're going to add the egg. And just to add the egg, just open it up. Split it open and let it set. And so as it sets a little bit, it's going to coagulate. Just mix it around with the sauce. Having an egg in the sauce is so delicious. Even with the ramen noodles that I made for you guys, you could add an egg. Alright, so you got this. This is lobster with ginger scallion. It looks wonderful. Okay. I'll let that cook a little bit more. Now, we're going to use brown rice today. A little brown rice. I could get fancy and put it in a bowl, but I'm not going to do that. Alright, now, we'll take it, we'll stick it on the side. Shut it up. And here we have lobster with ginger scallion with brown rice. Okay? See, it didn't take that long. Alright. This is it. It's for you. So let's taste it. Well, let's get a little sauce on the rice. Right. Now let's taste the sauce with the rice. Perfect. Delicious. Now, this is lobster. You can use shrimp. You can use clams. Right? With this dish, you could add ground pork, black beans, and it gives it a better, a different flavor sensation. All right, now let's try the lobster. We got the sauce on the shell. Delicious. Here's the lobster. We'll dip it in the sauce a little bit. Okay? It's a little unconventional the way I do it, but I love it. It's so delicious. Here it goes. Now, as you do this, your lobster may be undercooked, but during the process, you may take a piece out and chew it. And that will give you an idea whether it's undercooked or overcooked. This piece is perfect, but obviously it took a long time to do, right? At least you know that the shell is orange color. So that gives you an indication that it's starting to get well cooked. You don't want it to be overdone, and you don't want it to be underdone. You want it to be al dente done. Perfect, okay? And that's it. So, it took more than 7 minutes maybe. Now, if you want to make more, if you double it to 4 lobster tail, and 4 sections each, you get 16 pieces. So it'll be double the time, so it'll be like 15 minutes. So if you like it, and I just have a little leniency towards lobster, but you can use crab too. Maryland blue crabs go well with this. Get the males. They're bigger, hardier, they got more meat in it and heavier. But the Asian people, we love, believe it or not, we love the females. Even though it's smaller and maybe not as much meat, but we feel it's sweeter. Believe it. It's just really crazy. So if you like what you see, please subscribe. If you want to know, be notified of other YouTube videos that come up as a result of my class or demonstration, you'll be notified. And I have to say that I want to thank all my subscribers that have been watching. I really appreciate your interest in my demonstrations. I started with 23, maybe friends and relatives. I've grown to, I think, 63. And my views have been great. So this is not the traditional American dish. This is not the traditional American Chinese dish. This is more traditional, and it's prevalent among the Cantonese style, which is Southern style cooking. So it's not as spicy, but if you wanted to add sriracha sauce, you could. And please subscribe and give me a thumbs up, you know, whether you felt that it was a good video or not. And I always enjoy your comments, and I listen to your recommendations, and I really do appreciate it. And then I have a link for an Etsy page, which I have various condiments. One of them is a crunchy garlic chili oil relish, and another one is a spicy honey. The spicy honey is organic, it's raw, it's coming from the bees itself. It's not diluted with any ingredients, all natural. And you could add that to your hamburgers, pizzas, to your fried chicken, any dish, sandwiches. It gives it a nice, the crunchy chili oil relish gives it a nice kick. The honey, spicy honey, as long as you have sweet and spicy, those two flavors go hand in hand with whatever you eat. Add it to your soup, add it to your sandwich, add it to your pizza. You won't believe it. So that's www.chefwucancollection.etsy.com. And my regular website is chefwu.com. And that's where I'm more of a critic, a food blogger, a restaurant critic. Before the pandemic, I used to go to various restaurants and rate them in terms of hospitality, professionalism, type of food being offered, the price, the value. And so because of the pandemic, I was sort of had to set that aside, but hopefully things get back to normal. I'll be going back into it again. And that's chefwucan.com. So I got a couple of things for you to check out. I mean, if you get bored with TV and watching Netflix every time, I mean, it's pretty interesting. I mean, my articles are pretty good. My opinions are fairly decent. My ratings are on the mark. Obviously, I call it like it is. And so, basically, have fun. Enjoy. I have different recipes, quick recipes, other than what's on YouTube. And I also have my YouTube videos there, too. So, remember, my motto is, if Chef Wu can, you can, too. So, obviously, this is not a professional video. I don't have a production staff that pre-does everything. I do it all myself, and sometimes I do forget some things, most basically. And but I hope that it makes you feel comfortable, that even I make mistakes, that I cut myself sometimes, and I hope it makes you at ease. All right. So I want you to continue watching my videos. I do appreciate it. I want to thank you all. I really do. And tell your friends, and that's how I become popular. And I feel like I'm a YouTuber now, so I feel good. So please tell your friends about it. I mean, let the word spread, and I'll get very popular. And you never know. I owe it all to you guys. All right. So thank you very much, Chef Wu Can here. Chef Wu Can, you can too. And come back again, and please subscribe. All right. So thank you very much. And I hope to see you soon. My next dish will be Peking duck. Not the duck itself. That's a lot of work. The duck breast. Very easy dish. Right now it's defrosting, so probably I'll do it tomorrow, okay? But it's wonderful. I may not have that fluffy bun where you put the duck in. I may have to use a tortilla, but you know what? It's the way you make it and how you can appreciate it. It doesn't really matter what you use, all right? I mean, it's very hard sometimes to get all the authentic ingredients, so we have to improvise, you know? And that's cheap. Everything that I'm doing here is fairly cheap. Okay, the lobster was an exception, but still, good buy at Costco, all right? So let me know what you think, and I do appreciate it, and come back again. Thank you, aloha, and I didn't have my drink today. It's a little late, all right? Thank you very much. Bye-bye.